Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, we get expert tips for making business operations mobile, pluck some advice on exporting to Asia from Maton Guitars, and dig into Russell and Kogan's tips for online business success. Hello, welcome back to KBB. We've set up in Sydney today and we'll be catching up with a local pest control business making big strides in the small business space, along with a couple of other industry-leading outfits that you will not want to miss. We're jam-packed full of good tips today. But first, let's get started with news you can use. Family businesses account for around 70% of all Australian business and employ 50% of the workforce. So what can we learn from them? Well, number one, have a long-term focus. Through shared values and long-term planning, being a family business helps in surviving economic uncertainty. Also, build a dedicated workforce. 84% say their operations are influenced by family values. These warm approaches build a loyal and dedicated workforce. And finally, innovate. Family businesses are more likely to invest in innovation compared to non-family businesses. So is it time you turned up the family angle? Whatever industry you're in, it's inevitable that work needs to be done on the road. Taking calls, answering emails, quoting on jobs. This makes having a seamless mobile system really valuable. Competitive Pest Services is one small business going through the transition to a mobile setup. So we sent in Salesforce guru Derek Laney to lend Steve and Claire a hand.
Steve, Claire, tell us a little bit about your business.
We're a pest control company. We've been running for about 22 years. It started off as just a one-man band, and then Gary bought the company over about 10 years ago. From there, the company's basically skyrocketed. We've moved up. We've got more guys on the road. We started with 1, 2, 3. Now we've got about 7 on us at the moment, and we've won Pest Manager of the Year 2 years in a row.
Can you tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you're having then?
Well, I guess from the system perspective side of things, our CRM system is, I guess, built for bookings, but it's not very effective on the mobile side. I guess what my job is to make sure the technicians are running smoothly throughout the day. So going from, each particular property, doing the pest control service there as well. Something gets missed, or the emails are down, or the system is down, the guys have absolutely no idea where they're going.
Wow. It sounds like this is a really critical system for the business.
Absolutely.
It runs day to day. Without it, we'd be lost, basically.
Perhaps what I'm hearing is that a major challenge that you're having at the moment is having information available to people in the field, and also being able to update it, in other times, and rather than when you're at the desk. It's about what time's convenient for you. So, firstly, perhaps think about considering a mobile CRM, something that's optimised to work for you on your mobile. So, for example, if a customer calls in or emails you in an evening and tells you that there's a change needed for the appointments the next day, you can actually make that change on your way home that night and not have to come back in. It also means that the technicians have the latest information when they're out in the field and meeting a customer. They can immediately update it after the event rather than waiting till the end of the day. So perhaps secondly, the thing that I could suggest is using a cloud-based CRM where all the information is in one place. Now, it's a shared system and you're using the same system potentially as 100,000 other people, so it's highly reliable. It also means the information is there available for you on those mobile devices that the technicians use. And when you make a change, like a reschedule, Steve, when there's a problem with a technician, the latest information is immediately available to people in the field.
Our director's putting a lot of time and effort into, Yellow Pages and Google and different avenues where we can obviously bring customers into us. Our major struggle right now is that the CRM system we have doesn't actually give us any reporting. So we're manually having to do it. We've got a sheet of paper where we're sort of just ticking where the customers are actually coming from, and we're asking those questions when they ring us up.
When we think about the different lead sources that you have, one of the advantages of using a CRM is that all of those different lead sources are coming into one place. So after the fact, as business close, you're able to track right from that lead source to close and understand not just what's generating leads in the door, but what types of sources are actually generating revenue for the business.
Coming up next, Maiten Guitars shares its secrets to winning over the Asian export market. This business tip brought to you by NAB. We see Australian business. So, David, you say you see Australian business. I'm a boutique winemaker wanting to sell into Asia. What do you see for me?
Kochie, I see a massive opportunity for you in China. Premium wines, other products like boutique brands, including baby foods and such, are hot to trot on the online service there.
And a few customers there.
270 million online shoppers, all with the same card, Union Pay, all ready to be getting online.
How do I take advantage of that opportunity?
We are the only bank in Australia that has the ability to do China Union Pay online payments, and that's a great thing that you have to be on if you really want to tap into that market.
And I suppose it would help too with Chinese tourists coming to Australia, the biggest growth area.
We have that covered too, so every NAB terminal has the ability to take their Union Pay card when they're down here making purchases.
So you're telling me the NAB gives me a competitive edge into the biggest market in the world?
It sure does, Kochie. Now's a good time to contact your business banker.
For more information, visit nab.com.au/smallbusiness. Hello, welcome back to KBB. I love this business. It's called Maiten Guitars, and it was founded in a small backyard workshop in 1946. From that humble beginning, Bill May's family business has blossomed into an internationally renowned brand, and it recently made the tricky transition into the Asian market. We caught up with company director, Bill's daughter Linda, and her son-in-law David Steedman to get their advice for other businesses thinking about making a move into Asia.
You've been manufacturing in Australia for over 65 years now. Have you ever thought about moving that offshore?
Never. No, not in my lifetime. I never want to. We make a fine product and we'll always make it here as long as I'm running the company.
And how important has that Australian manufacturing been to your brand?
Oh, strong. Very strong. People in Australia now buy it because it is Aussie. If it's a good quality product and people realise it, so... And now it's selling overseas, so it's great.
So you've built a fantastic brand abroad. Can you tell us a bit about those export operations?
Well, export, I guess, USA has happened for quite some time. USA is a difficult market. We're partnering with 6 or 7 key stores, which is great to have that direct relationship. Europe's pretty mature for us now. We've been with our German distributor now for over 8 years, and he's doing a really great job.
What about your latest focus?
Our latest focus, Alex, is all about Asia.
Was Asia a natural progression for you?
Asia is a natural progression because it's close, because we've got a lot of support there through our distributor partners. We had some help with our bank and a few government agencies helped us out in initial forays into the market.
Okay, what sort of research did you have to do before you made that move?
A lot of market research. We spent some time with Austrade. They were quite helpful with us. We spent some time with our bank and their local Chinese partners over there, researched the partners, and then we went over and actually interviewed partners at a Shanghai music show back in October last year. The main research is in the partnership and the relationship, to be honest. It's really finding a balance and finding a relationship that works. We brought them over here. We ingrained them through the factory, spent 2 or 3 days with them here, learnt about them, became friends with them, formed a relationship with them, gained that trust, which has now progressed into business.
So you saw the opportunity in Asia. You realised there was a bit of a growth market there. Was there any reservation about taking the plunge?
There's always reservations about taking the plunge. It's very clear that it's a really challenging retail landscape here, and not all of our retailers have survived over the journey, and some of the bigger ones have not been able to survive, unfortunately. We need to find a home for our beautiful product, and we need to continue to employ our 70 staff who work really hard making our product. Yes, there's a lot of challenges, but it's been worth every ounce of sweat on the way to go into Asia, and we feel it's a really strong part of our future.
Coming up next on KBB, more terrific advice from online entrepreneur Ruslan Kogan. This payments tip brought to you by BePay.
Putting BePay to work for your business is easy. The first step is to register as a BePay biller with your financial institution. They will provide you with a BePay biller code for your business. Then all you need to do is add the BePay logo, biller code and customer reference number to every bill you send. From there, you'll receive clear funds in your account as soon as the next banking business day, and you can say goodbye to chargebacks and bouncing cheques. Most importantly, BePay will help you save time and make it easier to reconcile your accounts. Your bank will send you a daily payment file which can be simply transferred to your accounting system. Payment tracking will now be a simple task.
Visit bepay.com.au/SME for more information. Now for something a little different. We had such a great chat with Ruslan Kogan last week that we just had to bring you a second instalment of his terrific business insights. Now this week, we look at what bricks and mortar businesses can do to see off competition from online operators and also get his tips for online shops looking to dominate their niche. Let's take a look.
Now, you've built an incredibly formidable online business. What tips do you have for small brick and mortar businesses trying to compete with online?
For a bricks and mortar retailer, they can't look at online retail and say, oh, well, you know, we just need to have a store or we just need to do what they're doing, because online retailers are more efficient than a bricks and mortar retailer. A bricks and mortar retailer will never be able to compete with an online retailer on price. Not possible. So what they have to do is say, well, what is our competitive advantage over an online retailer? For instance, there's a tennis store in Melbourne with a tennis court and they employ actual tennis pros to work there. So you can go to the tennis store, you speak to the pros, you trial out various gear, you have a hit with them, you listen to their advice, and then you can make a purchase. And I go there to buy all of my tennis gear because I like that service, I like that advice, I like their competitive advantage. I know I can go online and buy the same stuff for half the price, but I'm not going to have the expert advice, I'm not going to have the service.
Okay, what about looking at new online retailers where the sort of experience and service isn't as pronounced? What tips do you have there?
So one big advantage that bricks and mortar stores have is that when you walk into a store and you see a crowd of people lined up at the cash register, your brain is telling you, these people have researched this business, these people have made a decision to buy from here, I can trust this company. It's great social proof. It's why we choose a crowded cafe over an empty one all the time. Now, online, you don't have that. A website can be a lonely place because you don't know how many people are currently on this site as well, you know, are others buying from here? So integrate Facebook, show the community aspect of the site, show people that others trust your brand, others trust your business, others have made purchases here. We have a live feed in the bottom left-hand corner that pops up and says, you know, someone from Manly just purchased an iPad. People in your area buying similar products to what you're looking at. And that's meant to tell the person, well, you know, Kogan is a trusted brand.
And are those sort of systems easy enough to implement?
If it was easy, everyone would do it, so I'd say no.
Okay.
You know, we're one of the only ones I know that has stuff like that. IT is part of our core expertise in the business. It's something we'll never outsource. We're happy to outsource our cleaners and our lawyers and our bookkeepers, but everything that's core to our business we never outsource.
Now, you've come a long way with Kogan, Ruslan. What's the future look like?
We aim to become a global household brand, and we've never had any external investment. We've never had outside capital, and the business started with $0. So to get to where we have so far is a result of the amazing team we've got at Kogan, but there's still a long way to go and we're just getting started.
Gee, some really great tips there, especially about focusing on your core competitive advantage and creating social proof for your shop.
All right, so GST's been around for a while, but gee, it's important to get it right. As we know, it's a 10% tax on most goods and services that is generally included in the price of sales. Businesses collect the tax and then offset what they owe the ATO with credits for the GST paid on purchases. Here are a few friendly reminders. If your business's current or projected GST turnover is $75,000 or more for any 12-month period, it must be registered for GST within 21 days. This is important and easily done online. From there, make sure all invoices you are given are tax invoices where necessary, especially as these are required to claim all credits for purchases over $82.50, and keep these receipts for 5 years. That's the rule. Finally, lodge and pay on time to avoid penalties, even if you don't have any tax to report. And if you're in a tight spot, make sure you contact the ATO to discuss payment options. Get this right and you'll have more time to spend growing your business.
Next up, it's Ask Kochie, where we answer another small business question from the crowd.
This segment brought to you by NAB. We see Australian business.
Hi, I'm Peter Gibson. Welcome to Mount Nathan Winery in the Gold Coast hinterland. We've got traditional standard white and red wines, like a million other wineries around the world, but where we're different is we produce this incredible honey wine. This particular valley produces a particular type of fermentable honey that is truly unique, and we haven't found anybody else in the world that can match it. We've gone in 10 years from being a 100% Australian company, whereby we're getting just Aussie tourists coming in, to now 90% from Asia. The people would come in and say, I love this so much, I want to buy more of it, but I can only bring a couple of bottles back into my home country. We said to ourselves, what we really need to do is establish a better mechanism. We need to establish a door-to-door mechanism whereby we can warehouse our products in their country. We launched into Asia through Malaysia and Singapore initially because of their hot climate, and they required drinks that were refreshing, and the honey products are refreshing. And from there, we moved into other countries. Initially, when we started off, we were shipping a half a container in 1 year. Now, for the last 3 months, we've been shipping a container every month. The payment side is crucial. In China, for example, the credit union card is the most popular form. It's a debit card. They rarely use credit cards, they use debit cards, so it accesses their account. If you don't have the facility of handling that card, the ability for you to transact money is extremely limited because they don't carry the traditional cards that we have. So therefore, I needed to get in a merchant facility that could handle the China credit union card. I approached the various banks to determine whether they actually had such a facility, and the NAB does have a facility. So we've now got our point-of-sale devices which can do Amex, JCB, Credit, Visa, Master and China Cup Card. Our relationship with the NAB Bank is first class. They understand where we're heading for. They understand the China markets. They see all our statistics, that everything's going up, but they also realising that servicing financial is so important. They've spent a lot of time in ensuring that the facility here is doing the job, and every time we've got problems or issues that we raise, they're always very sympathetic to them.
For more information, visit nab.com.au/smallbusiness. This tech tip brought to you by McAfee.
Smartphones are proven tools for mobilizing your business. So what's new in the tech space? Well, there's been some phone launches. Apple's new 5S has come out. Now this looks a lot like the old 5, only it's more powerful, and it has the new Touch ID fingerprint scanner, which makes your phone probably a little more secure than before. Also, it has a better camera with a larger aperture, and it's running iOS 7, which has loads of enhancements to help you stay in touch with the office. On the Samsung side, I really like the Note 3. Now this is a productivity-focused Android smartphone. It has a huge 5.7-inch screen, and it has a S Pen stylus. This is great for getting things done, and the Air Command menu that works with the stylus makes it much easier to access your apps than ever before. I also love the pen window feature, which allows you to multitask one app inside of another. This phone is also great for email. So when it comes to smartphones, definitely give these two a look for your business.
All right, time to answer some of your questions, and Danielle sends one in via our Facebook page. Danielle says, we run a Tasmanian-based wedding magazine that's expanding into the mainland, but are unsure about finding the right salesperson. How do you spot a good one? Well, Danielle, the best way to find any good new hiring is through word of mouth. Ask around sort of other magazines, clients and suppliers to see if they know anyone they can refer you to. Suppliers are particularly good as they're in sales, so likely to have a good network, and also have your business interests at heart, so you're unlikely to get a dud. In my experience, good salespeople need empathy, exceptional people skills, heaps of confidence, and above all, tenacity. Now, you can gauge a lot from a couple of interactions, but good references are also crucial. We've got some great sales professionals that contribute to KBB, so be sure to drop by the sales portal at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au for more ideas and expert insights. We've got some great stories there. Well, that's it for this week. We'll catch you next time. Next week on KBB, we meet some Aussie battlers in a not-to-be-missed mining special straight from Outback WA.